Hi, I'm Chris Taylor. I'm the owner of Ink Therapy and the producer of Indy Tattoo Expo. So we're on year 2. Yep, we were supposed to be 2020 was our first year. Obviously got messed up. So 21 was our first, and now we're in the middle of year 2, and it's going amazing, man. I appreciate everybody. And the thing I love about it is, again, it's just walking around getting to talk to Mike Skyver, Dana Brunson, and sitting there learning the history and learning more than I even knew, and seeing like so many people have come up and been like, man, the energy here is just great. And like to see the passion and energy, that's what I do this for, man. It's just to spotlight some people, see that energy. I need that energy and passion to grow. I think this is something that you love. And if you walk around here, the first year I did better. I got to about 80 tattoo shops. This year, my back being down, I probably only made it to 10. But I literally went and tried to meet all these people to make sure that we had the right energy in the building.
Obviously, super busy person.
A little bit on the plate.
Yeah. How do you balance that? How do you manage that work-life balance?
With a great team, honestly. My family is really involved in it too. Tattooing is a family business for my family. 2 of my daughters are, one tattoos, one's in her apprenticeship. My 10-year-old granddaughter is already trying to start her apprenticeship. So it's a family business. And then I have Trina, her father's who taught me how to tattoo 30 years ago. So, I tell everybody you need a Trina if you want your business to run like mine, because people ask me all the time, and it's Trina, it's my team. I got Mike Schultz, Kenny Salone, Biggins. I have such a good crew at the shop that keeps things rolling. That by myself, with all the things that I try to do, I definitely could not do it. Yeah. My buddy Hot Dog, he comes and helps put the show together. He brought his 3 daughters. They've been helping run the thermo areas. My granddaughter's showing people where the booths are. She's helping them do things, getting stuff done, helps at the stage. So it's really cool. And then, like I say, we have older people that are running the ticket sales. And I want to say we roughly have probably 30 or 40 volunteers. And most of these people are volunteers too. So that's the great thing, that you have people who support something so well, and it's just a volunteer thing. And I think that goes hand in hand with how much charity work we try to do and involve the charity here. We have the Ava Strong charity ride going on outside right now, actually. And Ink Therapy, my studio, we've been doing that for 5 years, and we introduced it to Indy Tattoo Expo last year to try to make the crowd bigger. And I think that the charity work goes hand in hand with why so many people step up and help get this done. I think dollar signs don't mark any type of success. I think they're the most irrelevant thing in success. It's what you leave to other people and how many people you elevate with you. If it was for money, I would definitely be in a different spot. A lot of people think when you're doing this, you have a lot of it, but you don't. You're investing in so many people that it's really just, it takes that to run it. So the money's, what makes things go, but the people are what make it value. Yeah, one, just enjoy who you are. Go there, be inspired, but don't try to be anybody. My daughter was fortunate this year, and it was kind of a helpful conversation with me. I've been tattooing for 30 years. My daughter's been tattooing a year, and she got on a conversation with Guy Atchison, and she's like, well, I don't know my style, and I feel like this and that. And he said, your style shouldn't exist. So don't try to force a style. Let your work develop. And next thing you know, when you look back instead of chasing someone else's style, you're going to find that you've been doing your style the whole time.
We would all like to know, why did you let Stover get kicked out of that bar in New Orleans?
Oh, I don't know. That might be more on Stover there, Actually, we had a little apprentice that was helping him, but, when people play shitty music, for some reason he doesn't like good music, and the girls swing music, so for some reason they didn't like him unplugging the machine, and I couldn't hide him too much,
So I didn't know the whole backstory, and I was gonna say, what did Stover do?
Oh,
You were
so yeah.
the
First,
cover
we
for?
were playing pool, and we were getting beat by this girl who had a large mohawk. So she was a pool shark. We kept joking about. And we're in New Orleans. This is a Southern Comfort Tattoo Expo. I mean, this is close to 20 years ago, and so we're in there just having a good time, and people kept playing silly music, and so Stover just kept walk over and unplug the jukebox. And they first couple times they didn't know who it was. You know what I mean? After a while, they're kind of paying attention because he's unplugged it now like 3 or 4 times. And then I think he broke the pool stick over his leg, and I think that was when they said that we had to leave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, so this one, it's clear to everyone how close you keep tattooing to your chest. You have a very deep respect for tattooing, the craft, the industry. And with that being said, there was a nightmare of a convention earlier this year down in Tampa Bay, Florida, that I know that you actually had the displeasure of being at and attending.
Yeah. It was an eye opener though. It was actually, it was a nightmare experience, and it was sad because as deep as I take tattooing, I mean, I'm 45 years old. I've been tattooing for 30 years, so it's not what I do; it is who I am. And a lot of people might have mistook even my video about that, but I do love tattooing. I mean, I take it personal, and it was like seeing that much of a mess for tattooing. It literally broke my heart emotionally because it was like someone mistreating one of my children. You know what I mean? It's like, I love this. I put my works into this, and you're exploiting it. So it was very intense for me. Luckily, I was in a little bit of bad shape physically, so I didn't take it too far. But to see someone mistreat something that you love and that you've put your life work into, and they're exploiting it for money, and I mean, I drove 2,000 plus miles to get there to what was just a mess. I mean, and no booth available for me. I'm sitting there with Gil Monty. I mean, he's a Florida legend in tattooing, and the guy doesn't have a booth for the guy that he used to market it. So it was sad, but it was real eye-opening because I have the pleasure of being close friends with Derb. So me and him got to experience that together and talk about it and evaluate the situations. And obviously with Hell City being the all of tattoo expos and what I look up to, it allowed us both to come back and see what needs to be adjusted in tattooing, and not necessarily for tattoo, kind of back to what you said about Prentice. Put some value and some standards back into tattooing. Not try to be the cool guy because of Instagram, but what are you really leaving to tattooing? Because tattooing will give you everything. So give back. I mean, give back, man. Like, quit taking and give back. I think look for credibility in who's putting it on. Does that guy, and I don't think they necessarily have to be a tattoo artist, but have they been involved in tattooing? Do they have a track record of, good standing in our industry? Or are they just a company that's coming to exploit the money that's in the industry? So I think, the best thing you can do is call around, check on it. The thing is now nobody wants to ask each other questions, but like, be honest with each other, tell each other, hey man, this guy does this, and because that was the thing. Had I known all the things about year one of that show, I would have never showed up. But no one had the balls to put it out there because they're so worried about, well, if I put something out there like Chris's video, then what if people blackball me? Blackball me, man, I don't care. I'm just putting the truth out there. You know what I mean? So look for people who put the truth out there. You'll know who it is in the industry. There's some people like me that, people know who staples are and who foundation points are in our industry. And I think the key is look for the foundation point. Do they have a foundation in tattooing? And then do they give value to tattooing, or are they just taking value out of tattooing? A lot of people don't know this about, like, say, buying from Kingpin for years. I've pretty much been buying from Kingpin for probably at least 23 to 25 years, pretty much since they've been around. Like, say, me and Stover got kicked out of an expo 20 years ago together. So been buying from him for years. But a lot of people don't realize Kingpin is literally the foundation of me starting to throw tattoo expos. I don't even know if you knew that. But maybe 7 years ago, I had a company come to me and they wanted to add Tattoo Expo to their horror convention that they were doing. And so a buddy of mine, he was part of that, and he asked me if I could get the tattoo involved. So I called Stover. I'm like, hey, I'm going to throw a tattoo convention in like 7 months in California. He's like, you're out of your mind, dude. Like, you don't even live there. I'm like, yeah, I know. But, he knew my backing. He said, I know that you do what you say you're going to do. So I got your back. If you want to do it, yes, we're on board. So Kingpin was the first person to say that they were on board for me to throw Days of the Dead Tattoo Expo with my buddy Scott. Once we threw Days of the Dead for a few years, and they jumped on board. That allowed Ink Addict jumped on board, but those were our two main people. So Brian and Nathan underneath, because he was drawing for Ink Addict at the time, kind of both put their necks out there and was like, hey, we support this guy, and they gave the industry, because it's all about who you have behind you. Like we were talking about for the new guys that look for it. Who do they have behind them? Why are they putting the show on? Kingpin has the staple of a foundation, and when they stepped up and was like, yeah, we're behind Chris Taylor for this expo, everybody's like, all right, cool. They believed in it. They believed in it because Brian believed in me, so I appreciate you guys. And, I've been to the shop out in Anaheim, California, and I met the people out there, but being able to come there and meet everybody in Tampa, because that's where I usually deal with, and I'm there a lot, it was a pretty cool, and just seeing, like you said, everybody there seemed like a family, kind of like here at the expo, and it was like no one was, it's a business, we all know that, but no one was business. It was, you were in this relaxed in time, and you could tell that everybody got along well. Phew. That's kind of a hard question for me, honestly. I'm pretty excited about the Ava Strong ride because we used to do that at our shop. So bringing the Ava Strong, it's a charity ride for cancer for children. I'm pretty excited about that. That's happening today here. And because we get to bring hundreds more people to this event to help bring to a good cause. So that's probably one of my most exciting things. I know it's irrelevant to the tattoo part of it, but again, it's one of those things of what you leave behind is more important than what you're doing. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things for me.
All right, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Yep, thank you.